It was a horrific crime, one of the worst in Tennessee history, the murder of 2 UT students in Knoxville.
And one of the people convicted in this case is now up for parole, trying to get out of prison early after being convicted not once, but twice.
News Channel 5's Shannon Royster has more on what happened at today's hearing for Vanessa Coleman. Shannon.
It was a very emotional testimony today. The board heard from the parents of the couple, Vanessa's family, and Vanessa herself. She's sentenced to 35 years in prison, and that's where she'll remain after the board voted unanimously to deny parole.
As far as I'm concerned, she deserves to spend the rest of her life in prison. She was no victim. Channon and Chris were the victims.
DEENA Christian came to fight for justice for her daughter Channon. She was brutally murdered, raped, and tortured along with her boyfriend Christopher NEWSOM back in 2007.
I'd like to say I apologize for your losses. If I could have changed things, I would have changed them. But it wasn't in my control.
Vanessa Coleman was charged with 17 counts of facilitation of the murder of Channon, and now she and her family are hoping for an early release.
She has grown since she's been here. It's changed a whole lot.
But not enough to ever satisfy DEENA.
My daughter suffocated because she was bound so tight that she couldn't breathe.
Or the parents of Christopher.
I think of Chris and Shannon every minute of every day. I cannot get rid of the humiliation and suffering that those kids went through the last hours here on earth.
On the evening of January 6, 2007, Christopher and Channon had made dinner and movie plans. But when Chris went to pick Channon up at a Knoxville apartment complex, they were carjacked by several men and Coleman. What happened next was unthinkable. The couple was taken to a home where they were bound, raped, and tortured for hours. Chris was shot several times. Channon suffocated.
I made a mistake, and I can take responsibility for my mistakes.
Now, as far as the other 4 people involved in this horrific case, LaTalvis Cobbins is serving life without parole. Lamaricus Davidson is on death row. Eric Boyd is serving an 18-year sentence with no parole. And George Thomas is serving a life sentence with the possibility of parole. Vanessa, she'll remain in prison for now. She's not eligible for parole until December 2020.